Hey. So we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. I'm going to give y'all this one video first from the beginning and who we're talking about. And then I'll go into detail about season 8, episode 1. And they only gave us a few couples because I think it's a lot more to get into. Y'all know I talk fast. Y'all know I look at my notes. So I'm going to just see. Brandon and Julia. Of course, Julia's from Russia, where most of them are. Brandon lives in Dinwiddie, Virginia, which is not far from me. It's a country, rural farm area, and his parents have a farm, but they have animals, and that's their, lineage and their heritage, and they inherit, and they pass down generation to generation. Brandon, said his parents are in their business a lot. His mom is overprotective. His mom and his dad are their best friend. They're best friends together, and he never really had a girlfriend. He has a couple of friends, and that is how he met Julia, because he signed up for a date. No, his friend, was on a site and introduced him to her, which I'm like, where does she come into play? But there's something brewing, maybe, because you on a site to talk to somebody else, you see her where, and maybe as the girlfriend's friend, okay. So they, and he was so shy, but he was so happy to meet her, and he went to visit her, after dating for a little while, and after 3 weeks, he went over there and applied. He kissed her, had sex with her, and he was sprung because he never had nobody. And he was, they tried to apply for a 90-day visa, visiting visa, but she told the interview people that, I'm going to see my boyfriend. They denied it. So then he invited her to Iceland. They had a little vacation. He proposed to her after 5 months of dating. And then they started the process for the K-1 visa because he loved her. He was in love with her. She said yes. Julia is a go-go dancer, and Brandon is a farm boy. Totally different lives, totally different things going on. Brandon is a pest control worker, and he is a farm boy. And Julia is a go-go dancer who sleeps till 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So he told her in the beginning, I'm not rich. Let me bring you over here because instead of me turn left to right. Okay, so he tells her they weren't rich, and he lives with his parents, and they're gonna have to live with his parents until they save up money in order for them to move to their own spot. He never tells her how long. He doesn't tell her he can't live in the same room with her, and they can't sleep in the same bed. Problem number 1, because Julia's that girl. So he keeps telling her a bit of time. So they're talking on the phone, and she's like, Brandon, you tell your parents I come, but not stay for long, right? Excuse my Russian, it's not that fluent. And he's like, yeah, but she keeps saying, oh, how are your parents gonna treat you when you leave, or when us want to leave? They're gonna say, no, Brandon, you stay here. No, Julia. And he's lying to her because he knows his mom is not with that. The parents want him to inherit the family business. Brandon says that was the lifelong dream, but that's not his dream. So his mom is like, well, what is she going to do for a job? Because I know she can't go dance in Dinwiddie, Virginia, which she can because ain't nothing down there but sticks and farms. And then they start talking about sex, and is she on birth control? And I'm like, why are y'all talking? He's 27. Can y'all not it's awkward. But that Brandon says they're his best friends. So he says, well, she's not going to use protection. She doesn't like it. She doesn't want foreign things in her body, but she drinks alcohol and she smokes, and she doesn't want foreign things in her body, but she will have a whole baby in her body or have to take preventative medication if she catches anything from Brandon or anybody else that she's having unprotected sex with. But okay, we're going to move on from that. And she's like, what the producers asked him, what about you? What about a condom? Oh, I don't really like the feel of condoms. You don't like the feel of condoms, but you like the feel of a baby and getting up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to work, feed the baby, change the baby, and everything else. So a little preventive measures now is gonna, like, he keeps saying, our method hasn't working this far. The parents remind him, you better tell her that she can't stay here. Like, don't think it's going to be a field day. You're not going to be sleeping in the same bed because you're not married. Even though you're getting married, you're not going to do it. Brandon, did you tell her? No, Brandon does not tell her. And it's like, Brandon, why would you not tell her that you can't sleep in the same bed? She's moving. She's coming. But that's going to be their problem to deal with. And, you know, it's gonna be rough because you can't, that's a big surprise to spring on somebody who doesn't know what's happening and what's going on in life. Like, she's very green and she thinks they're going to sleep together and they're going to, you know, be able to have this luxurious life living in this little farm life. And then they're going to come back together and they're going to sleep in the same bed. Then they're going to move out in a couple of weeks. She has no idea what she's in for. And it's sad because I think they're only a year apart in age, and she's not, they have her getting up ass crack early. I'm not a country girl, but you could get me up that time of the morning, either at 4 o'clock in the morning to feed chickens and goats and pigs to somebody who is fresh from like world and life. Like, ugh, how's that gonna work? Now we have Jovi, who's in New Orleans, and Yara from the Ukraine. I will break you. That's in my Drago voice. Yeah, I like that. He's their underwater robotics technician who works on pipelines. He's a country boy who likes to gator hunt and fish, and, you know, but he seems very, very intelligent, especially for the job that he does. And he travels a lot for work. He shows himself waking up for a drink of beer, and he likes to party. But you're 27? Who cares? You have no responsibilities. You have no kid. You have no wife. Live it up. Do what you want to do. He met Yara on a website, of course. They met in Budapest after talking for a certain period of time. I'm assuming he couldn't go to the Ukraine because we know those countries and continents have a lot of blockages, and you can't just, I'm going to the Ukraine. That's not how that works. He thought it was going to be a fling. That's not what it was. They started dating. She's a makeup artist. She has a very extravagant lifestyle, says Jovi, because she wants, you know, new things, name brand everything. During one of their visits, because apparently they traveled a lot and they went on vacations, because he works for 4 weeks and then he's off for 4 weeks. So for the month he's off, he travels. So he's taken her on his travels with him, which gives her the impression he has all the money in the world for her and her lifestyle. They had sex. She got pregnant, and he thought, oh, she's trying to trap me. And, you know, you have sex unprotected or protected, there's a chance you make it pregnant. It's what it is. She got pregnant. She didn't seem, at the time, he said that she was like that, but he never knew. So they started dating, and then he found out she had a miscarriage, which was really damaging. Then he was like, well, fuck it. Why gotta get married? I feel like he proposed to her because she was pregnant and he didn't want that lifestyle. Then he thought again. He's like, well, I'm getting cold feet, but maybe, you know, she's not pregnant. Maybe she's still here and she's the one for me. So they applied for the K-1 visa. It got approved. And she's coming over. He was talking to his mom, and his mom is like, yeah, I've read a lot of things about these Ukraine women, these Russian women. They come over for a green card and they really don't want to be with you. And he's like, Mom, that's not how she is. And he lives with his friends currently because, I mean, if you, at 6 months out of the year, you're not home, I wouldn't pay for an apartment either. So I kind of get it. So he lived with his family friends, and he has to get an apartment. So he bought a small apartment in like the heart of New Orleans so she could see, you know, what New Orleans is like, life is like. It didn't look that glamorous to me because from what I've heard is it stinks. It smells like horse shit because the horses are all up and down. They just shit everywhere. No one cleans it up. But, you know, they're going to still, give it a shot. So his mom is talking to him about, you know, the New Orleans life and how she's going to adapt from this lifestyle she's accustomed to not having you home for 4 weeks because you only have 90. And out of those 90, which is 3 months, you're going to be going for a month. And then you're working during the daytime. So you really only have maybe a month to get to know each other and see if this is what you guys want. But, you know, he said it's going to be tough because he's selfish. He does what he wants to do, and he's not responsible for anybody else. And now he has to be responsible for her. We shall see. Jovi and Yara, because they pan to different scenes, and she comes up pregnant again. And he's not there. But I'm not going to spoil it. Zied, who's 27, and Rebecca, who was 49. So she was on last season, right? She was a private investigator. She had her own company. She had her best friend. Now she is a general manager at a chicken shack. But I'm guessing maybe she has a second job. She has not said or disclosed. I'm still working my second job, but I'm doing this as a side hustle so I can make sure I have enough money and show the show the consulate and show the K1 visa staff that I do have money coming in to support him, and he's not going to be on the U.S. dime, but whatever. So last season, he was in the process of getting approved, and now he's finally gotten approved. So she's getting another tattoo, they're saying, on her arm. She's all tatted up. Like, she's just, like, her arms are covered. Her chest is covered, almost. And she's talking to him in her new loft apartment. It's a very nice apartment. Very nice, open, spacious, you know, brick walls. And it looks nice if she got it together. I don't know how long she had this apartment, but the camera crew shows a shopping cart in the apartment, and they're sleeping, or supposed to sleep on, an air mattress on the floor. So she starts talking to him because his K1 visa interview is that afternoon, and she's like, baby, please don't be or sound upset when you talk to them. They may ask you about my previous relationship, because she was married to somebody else from that same exact country. It didn't work out. And now you're trying to bring somebody else over here. So they may ask her, like, do you think she's trying to bring people from your country over here? Like, what is that about? So he goes, I try, baby, I try. And then they go and show her kids. And she has an older son and daughter. And she's talking to her daughter. And she's like, yeah, we're going to live here for a little bit. And I think they live wherever he's flying into, but then she lives further out in Georgia because the kids want to meet him. They don't disclose that yet. And she says, well, you know, I have to wear like full pajamas or a robe when I'm walking around the house with my son, which is her son and her daughter, because in his culture, a woman shouldn't walk around the house unclothed, which is considered pajamas. I'm like, but that's your son. Your son has seen you in pajamas, underwear, panties, bra since he was a baby. What? And the daughter's like, but you know how he is. Like, so I'm like, okay. And they pan back over to the apartment which she has ready for him. And I just feel like you could do better. You could really do better with this apartment. You don't have anybody to help you bring furniture from storage to this loft. You got a shopping cart. Make it work. You have a son and a daughter. Let them help you. You have a son who may have friends. Let him help you. Like, come on, Rebecca. Then we have Mike and Natalie. Mike and Natalie are from last season, season 7. He proposed to her. She didn't take the ring because she said she doesn't love him yet, but she will grow to love him. It didn't go well with Mike. Mike wasn't happy. He took the ring back and he left. And then she calls him. They've been having conversation for the past however many months of filming, but he feels he's not ready for her to come over. And then she pops the news that I got approved. I have 20 days to be in the U.S. And he's like, oh, like he does not look thrilled at all. I'll come back to you with episode 2 from season 8. Thank you for watching. Bye.